Well, here we are again, folks. As you were probably hoping, this is Black Messiah, Obama Black Messiah, Coda. Yes, this is the finale, the whole thing in a nutshell, to hopefully kind of drive home the point that I made a little over a year ago when I told you that you'd been had, that you'd been taken, you'd been chumped. And I thought I'd give you a year to think about it and think about how you love being taken and how you love being gamed and how you love being a chump. Anyways, $27.3 trillion later, and your president has continued to supply the banksters and their ilk with all of the money they need, while at the same time shutting you down, the average American, down. And I mean shutting you down at the bank, shutting you down on the employment front, shutting you down on the credit card front, on the home ownership front. Before I get into the actual 1 year kind of encapsulation of what has happened or what hasn't happened for that matter, I want to explain to you how we got here in the first place. And this past year, since the hype and the worshiping that was going on back in January of 2009 and has quickly faded in terms of the approval rating for your illustrious president has dropped to, like 35, 40 points, in case you didn't notice that. But what I want to really talk about is how everybody got here. And we got here because we have been, basically, society has been turned into a bunch of brainwashed morons. It started about 100 years ago. A fellow named Bernays kind of watched social trends, studied how people's psyche worked, and basically out of Bernays came Madison Avenue, or modern day advertising as we know it. And the goal, Bernays said, always the goal was to make you feel inadequate by promoting things such as cosmetics, diets, women's suffrage back in the day, women smoking cigarettes in the women's suffrage ads in the print back in the day. What they created was a society of people over the generations to accept the fact that, hey, you're an inadequate loser. And when they finally began to be able to drive that into your head, the next step just naturally came into line. And that next step would be, let's create the false images that solve these problems of inadequacy and the feeling that you're a loser. The problem with this is that generation after generation has slowly bought into this, and literally by osmosis, so silently through the system. Advertising controls your life. It controls everything you do. Every decision you make is dependent on advertising. If they're not telling you to shove toxic McDonald's down your throat, this kills me, the official restaurant of the Olympics, McDonald's. Give me a fucking break. Tim Hortons in Canada, for you Canucks, watch a Tim Hortons commercial. You are depicted as a complete brain-dead moron. They might as well just flash a screen up there Would you like your breakfast sandwich on an English muffin or a brain cell? That of which you seem to lack severely. You've been conditioned to see yourself as a loser. You've been conditioned to see yourself as helpless. Every time something goes wrong, what does somebody say? Call the authorities, call the government, call the cops, call... Why? Why can't we take care of ourselves anymore? Why? Because we've been turned in to brainwash morons. It's like a pimp that's breaking a whore, okay? It's like, give me the money, and if you're lucky, I'll buy you a Happy Meal, bitch. And people that speak out or protest against this type of control and aggression are demonized in the mainstream media by these idiots like Glenn Beck and Bill O'Reilly and you know, locally for Toronto folks, like morons like Leslie Roberts on Global News. What an idiot. I mean, they pander to you like you're a 5-year-old child. And you know what? Most of you are. And you just suck it in, and you suck it in. And that's why when something like this military colonel guy goes mental and apparently kills a couple of people and attacks a couple more, everybody's in shock. What are you in shock for? It only stands to reason. Just take a look at the guy. You can tell his eyes. He's a psychopath. We got to this point because we've been brainwashed. And the Obama mania that reigned a year ago is gone. And I'll tell you why it's gone. The lies over the past 12 plus months have been incredible. Quote, I'll make government open and transparent. You know, whatever. No more secrecy. Okay. But they wouldn't let the Congress read the banker bailout bill, which was 1,200 pages long, until hours before the vote when no one could humanly possible get through it and scrutinize it. Yeah, no more secrecy, open and transparent. You will have 5 days to look at the bills online. That was to the American citizens directly. I will post the bill online. You will have 5 days to look at it, and you will have a say. Whatever. Lobbyists, crazy lobbyists everywhere. I won't have any lobbyists in my government. Yeah, there's a million of them. Here we go, real quick. He said he was going to get out the war. He's expanded the war. It's lobbyist Eden in Washington. Gitmo is supposed to be closed. Gitmo's still open because they haven't built the prisons back on U.S. soil yet to transfer the prisoners to that shouldn't even be there in the first place. The torture, Bush tortured, Blackwater tortures, Dick Cheney tortured, guess what? Your lovely big boy fucking Obama, he tortures too. Surveillance of the American citizens through your internet, through your telephone, through your mobile, everything. It all continues just like under Bush, only it's bigger and it's even more expensive than it was under Bush. Federalization of the states. Now the states don't want to go along with the federal government. The federal government goes, fine, we'll just take over. That's okay. That's what you voted for. That's your freedom. We can do it. Yeah. Healthcare, death care, man. You're on a list. You're going to die. If you're fat, you get no treatment. You smoke cigarettes, you get no treatment. No treatment. Okay? They'll just let you lay in a hospital and die. Why? Because you're on the dole. You're on the nuclear weapons in Iran. Yeah, whatever. The guy's publicly opened up to the UN, invited them in to inspect, and everybody that has inspected, including the U.S. security forces, NSA, and the CIA, have told the government he has not got weapon-grade capable nuclear abilities. Simple! Simple! Obama. One badass mistake, America. Enjoy your new freedom.